Hello and welcome back to Automotive Tales. On today's episode, I am road tripping with Yorkshire Eng.
Hey.
So we are road tripping off to classic Bahnstormers down near Bristol to go and see the E30, so I can bring you an update on what's happening because it's been there for quite a while. And Greg has very kindly stepped in and offered to drive me down because Mrs. Automotive Tales is using our everyday car. And I don't quite trust my Mazda to drive all this way.
No.
So we're using a real Mazda instead.
Hey.
Right, let's road trip.
Road trip, let's go.
Okay, so we have arrived at classic Bahnstormers, and you might recognise this lovely little Zinnebar red bonnet because that is the E30. And the reason the bonnet is up is there's a great big ruddy hole here because the engine is out for some work, which has not necessarily gone to plan. So over here in the corner of the workshop with the scrap pile, you might see an M20 engine. That would be the engine out of the E30, and there's a reason it's over here. So in a previous fleet update, I told you about some of the issues they came across. Now I can actually show you in a bit more detail. So you can see here on the back end of the engine, this should be a locating pin for the flywheel that's absolutely squished flat to the back of the crankshaft. And that's because they'd put the whole flywheel the wrong way around. This has a slightly larger hole in the flywheel, which allows you to locate it. Rather than doing that, somebody put it on 180 degrees out and just whacked the bolts in nice and tight and squished all of this. God knows how they thought that was okay. So that was a lucky find by the guys here. And then you'll start to see lots and lots of corrosion. Look at the state of this coolant pipe. So there was an ongoing issue with coolant getting into the block and down the bottom into the sump. I've showed you the pictures last time. At the moment, the consideration is the engine is probably going to be scrap. However, we are struggling to find an M20 because unlike other engines that get kept around, like this beautiful thing here from an M5, finding an M20 is quite difficult because they were an unloved engine. 325's relatively available, but the 320s were always ripped out and scrapped for 325s or other engine conversions. So they just don't exist anymore. So that's the reason there's a big hole under the bonnet. We did find another engine, which, believe it or not, is inside here. So we had an engine delivered. It looked like it had been fully rebuilt, but unfortunately when the guys down here at Classic Bahnstormers started to look into it in detail, while it had lots of new parts and lots of receipts and lots of pictures showing all the work, it hadn't really been put together very well at all. And to the point where we didn't really think it would actually run safely for more than a few minutes without eating itself alive. So really, really, on the face of it, looked great, but actually in reality it's been put together by monkeys. So we're currently in a situation where this engine at the moment looks unrestorable. It's pretty ropey, to be honest. But the only engine we've been able to find has been put together by idiots. So our options are, or this is going back for a refund, is to maybe look at rebuilding that, but it's going to be an expensive job. And we're still looking out for an good M20 engine. If you happen to have one, bleep bloop in the comments below. That would be that'd be ace, thanks. As that's highly unlikely, we're going to keep hunting. So, what else has been going on? Well, in answer to that question, not an awful lot. You'll see the car is still full of all the parts we had ready for it that I never got round to fitting. Now, the guys here have been pretty busy. They've had some problems with lifts and various other things. So the car's been mainly waiting for the engine. However, we've decided there's no way we're not going to do this job properly after the amount of money that's been put into it. That means we're going to allow them basically a blank check. Just watch Steve's face from over here. To get on and do all the rest of the job. Basically get the car ready of everything except the engine. And then as soon as we find an engine, hopefully that's the finishing piece. So yeah, that's about all there is on the E30. As you can see, obviously the engine is missing. That's really the key piece of the puzzle. We're going to get on, get the rest of it sorted. And as you can see, it's keeping good company. It's a very nice E30 M3 there, and lots of other lovely stuff that I'm afraid I can't show you. But rest assured, there is some incredible stuff here, so this is definitely at the right place. Right, I think therefore it means it's time for me and thee to go on and find some food and leave these guys to actually do some work rather than having a bloody YouTuber dicking around in the garage. Right, thanks for watching this episode of Automotive Tales. We will keep you updated as more happens on the E30, but at the moment it's a little bit quiet until we found that M20 engine. And don't forget, bleep bloop below if you know where there is one. You happen to have a rotten E30 that's got a really beautiful 2-litre straight 6 engine in it, let us know. Right, bye for now. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Don't you just love these wheels? Do you not think they're great on this E30? Don't worry, I haven't lost my mind. I'm not keeping those wheels. We have actually got some BBSs to go on, but they're very of a period, don't you think?